Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt, and today is Monday, July 6th. All right, we're gonna take a look at a couple of indexes here, and then SPY and USO. Okay, so real quick here, if we got the airlines have this triple bottom in place and starting to trend to the upside, so they're doing pretty well on the daily. You just have to watch these trend lines. That's the only thing that you have to be wary of. But you can see here you have your fast trend line right here, and then you have your slower trend line over here. So it is getting a nice little bounce right now, and any bounce to the upside with continuation, we should hit this trend line first, and then watch the upper Bollinger Band and the 50. So if you play in Delta or UAL, you can see here they're getting moves up and down, up and down, up and down pretty well here. You see your stochastics aren't looking too hot right now, so just not too sure if this is the bottom or not, but they are getting close. So again, keep an eye on your trend lines, and when your trend line breaks, that's what you're looking for, your reversal. But for now, just stand fast and keep an eye on them because the trend is still to the downside pretty aggressively. And unless you break these trend lines, then you're pretty much not going to get a move on those typically. So keep an eye on that. Also, gold mining. We were talking about the gold mining stocks, and they're getting rolling pretty good. And looking at those, we could look at Nugget real quick, and you can see Nugget has started to lift off the bottom here with a continuation pattern. And you have the middle Bollinger Band right here, which is pretty good at a 905, and then you have your upper Bollinger Band here at 1052. This one kind of trades in and out of the Bollinger Band, but it's been underneath it for quite some time. But you can see your relative strength index is starting to kick to the upside, and your stochastics are getting across. Plus, you got more volume today than what you have been on the 50 moving average for that. So definitely keep an eye on NUGT. Let's look at USO real quick too, because the oil sector is just getting hammered, as you can see here. We'll look at this one first before we look at USO. So the index is pretty rough right now, but it's in a consolidation box. Had a nice little move up to the 200, but then pulled back down again. And you can see here that it looks like it's trying to find its bottom. And if that's the case, then it should be getting a little bit of a bounce to move to the upside. So you could track it off the bottom here. That would be pretty stable. Let's put this over here. You could see why it had that bounce today. It looks pretty good. It had this trend line support right here. And also on that, if we look at USO and we're going to go down to the hourly, we're going to break it down a little bit more. And hourly, okay, we had a nice little target on this for a reason, and you can see back here we had. Let's see if I can zoom it out a little more here. You can see we had this little gap right here that needed to get filled. Nice technical area. And once we filled that gap, you could see that it bounced right off of it and started to move to the upside. You get a little cross going on your stochastics also on this hourly as I zoom in a little bit, and your relative strength index is at 18. So we got a nice little bounce here. Target for this one, I mean, we have a couple of gaps here. We have this one here up at 1986, and you have one here at 1896. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on this and see if we can get a nice little bounce in oil because it's definitely showing an oversold situation. And on the daily, the same thing came right down. You could see, and it created this. It hit the bottom here, and it's starting to move to the upside. Relative strength index still pointing down. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow on this double bottom support. If that's the case, then we'll have to see if we can get back inside this consolidation box. Any lower would be pretty bad. But this is what you're looking for, these big volume candles right here, and it to hold support, because that means there were some big buyers in here protecting this thing today, because this thing could have really taken a huge nosedive, and it found that support at this gap level, which was great. All right, we will see you in chat tomorrow. Have yourself a fantastic night.